Hey there, I'm Dr. Alyssa, and welcome back to the Trimester Bubble. I'm a chiropractor and dynamic body balancing facilitator here at Body and Balance Chiropractic. We support mamas to be, and babies by helping them live their best lives. Here on the podcast, our goal is to bring you educational content for your pregnancy journey from both us and our guest specialists. Whether you're thinking about starting a family or you're already pregnant with kiddos at home, each episode will help to lift you up. We know that this can be a confusing and lonely time, and all of us here at the Trimester Bubble want to support you on your journey that is mamahood and raising little ones. So let's get into the episode.
Hello, and welcome back to the Trimester Bubble. I am Dr. Katherine, and I'm going to be doing a solo episode today, all about going back to the basics in the new year. This is a great time to look back and reflect on the previous year and come up with a game plan for what you want to prioritize in the year to come. Three big areas that I am going to make some changes in and focus on in 2024 are sleep, diet, and exercise. These are often areas that we sacrifice when we get busy and stressed. But these areas are so important for the mind and the body and help us create a healthy, balanced, and successful year for yourself and your family. Because you only have one body, and it's never too late to start making changes for the better. The first area we are going to talk about is sleep. And sleep is how your body repairs, restores, and rejuvenates itself. The average adult needs 8 hours of sleep per night. And I know with many parents, sleep is the first thing that is sacrificed. Kids have their own bedtime routine that you're involved with. Emails need to be replied to. The house needs to be cleaned. So when I get parents in the office, I'll ask them, how are you doing? How's your body feeling? So often the first thing they will say is, I'm tired. And this is when I ask them about their sleep. I want to know if they have trouble falling asleep, if they wake up during the night, if they wake up at the same time every night, or when they wake up in the morning, do they feel just as tired as when they went to bed? So that fatigue. This helps me gauge if there's small tweaks that we need to make in their bedtime routine, if we need to talk about stress management, if we need to talk about their mattress, their sleeping position, or if we need to dive a little bit deeper and order lab work, if we need to refer to another provider. But sleep is that important, and it is so fundamental. And when we don't give ourselves time to sleep and restore, you feel it the next day. And that's when people find themselves in our office. They get the aches and pains, and they're looking for help. And they don't identify sleep as being one of the big issues in how they're feeling. But sleep plays such an important part in preventing weight gain also. It strengthens your heart, boosts your immune system, helps with your memory, mood, exercise performance. And I'm sure you can tell and feel the difference between days where you sleep throughout the night and when you're tossing and turning. And you can tell things are just a little bit worse when you don't sleep well. The next topic we are going to discuss is diet. And diet's interesting because I feel like it can be a daunting topic for a lot of individuals, just because there's so much information out there about fad diets, supplements, when do I need to be eating? Should I be fasting? And the list can go on and on. But in the new year, I am going to be realistic about what I know I can do. And that's going to be going back to the basics, going back to elementary school and breaking up my plates. So half of my plate is going to be my fruits and vegetables. A quarter is going to be whole grains. And then the last quarter is going to be my protein. Fruits and vegetables have always been the hardest area for me, just because I don't buy it often because I feel like I throw it out. It just goes bad so easily. I don't have time to cook with it. And so I feel like I am throwing money out the door. But I am going to start buying frozen produce. So I can just keep it in my freezer and pull it out when it's dinner time or when I am making lunch. And I think it's often a misconception that frozen produce is subpar compared to our fresh produce, but it actually has a very similar nutritional value from what we buy in the front of the grocery store. And it's often a little bit cheaper too. And then when we look at our whole grains, this is also an area where people can struggle, but we can make small substitutes. So we know we're getting the most nutrition with our grains. I know we can do a better job of switching out our white bread for our whole grain and switching out our white rice for brown rice or quinoa. And then when we look at our protein, we want to focus on fish, poultry, beans, and nuts rather than our red meats or processed meats. And then I always try to cook at home. I know some people don't always have time to do this, but this way I know what I'm putting into my food. I know the ingredients. And I can stay away from the fried foods, the processed foods that are on every menu when we go out to eat. And then I also try to meal prep when possible. I do this a lot for my lunches. If I have an hour on the weekend or at the beginning of the week, I'll cook in a big batch and then throw them into little containers and take them to work with me. It helps me save time, but this is also a good way that I know I'm getting the right plate proportions. I try to focus on color and variety and helps me from going down the street during lunch and getting a bagel or chicken strips or something I know is not good for me, but that's all I can do when I don't have time and I don't have my meal prepped for that week. And then when we talk about water consumption, the good rule of thumb is to drink half your body weight in fluid ounces per day. So if you weigh 140 pounds, try to consume 70 ounces of water per day. And I don't have one of those fancy water bottles that have the measurements on the side. I just try to drink when I'm thirsty. And your body will let you know when it needs water. And that's honestly how I do it. If you have a hard time remembering to drink water or you don't have it by your side throughout the day, some of those big water bottles are helpful, but just listen to your body as much as possible. The last topic we are going to cover today is exercise. And if we want to get into the details, there are two types of exercises, and that is aerobic. So that's our cardio, that's our walking, our running, our biking, our swimming. And then we have our anaerobic exercise. That's our weightlifting and our strength training. It is recommended that individuals get 150 minutes of cardio training per week and then 2 days of weightlifting for our major muscle groups per week. But if that doesn't sound like you, exercise does not need to be structured or complicated. I just recommend trying to move your body every day. This can be walking your dog. This can be gardening, playing pickleball with your friends. But exercise can also be a time where you clear your head and try to get away from the stressors of your life. I know in Colorado, great weather here. I try to get out at least once a week by myself or with my dog. I don't put headphones in and I just go for a hike. This is a way that I decompress. I focus on my breathing and I just get out in the sun and move my muscles. And some physical benefits of regular exercise can be improving your muscle strength, flexibility, and endurance, but it can also lower your blood pressure, reduce your risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. But it also helps you mentally decrease your stress, helps your memory, sleep, the big one, sleep, anxiety, and improve your mood. I know I feel better after I spend some time in the mountains and time outside. Again, these three topics, sleep, diet, and exercise, can be game changers for you in the new year. And remember, you can start small and develop routines that turn into habits and then will become second nature. Please let us know if you have any questions about anything we covered today. And I hope you have a great, healthy, productive, and successful 2024. Thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Trimester Bubble. We so appreciate your support. If you know another mama or mama-to-be who could use the information in this episode, please send them the link. We also love hearing from you. Send us a message and let us know any thoughts or questions that you have about this episode. I'm Dr. Alyssa with the Trimester Bubble, and we'll see you soon.